Hello everyone, welcome to I Roll It, I Review It. Quick reviews chosen at random. To start, I need to see where I'm watching. 2 is Amazon. Now it's genre time. 19, horror. First horror I've landed on so far. And now for the movie. 4. Oh, this is good. Smile 2. I needed to watch this for a commentary I'm doing with Hack the Movie soon. That works out nicely. I really enjoyed the first one, and I've heard good things about the sequel, so I'm looking forward to this. I'll be back in a little bit. That was disappointing. The film was more or less just a redo of the first movie, only with a slightly different story and a bigger budget. Smile 2 is written and directed by Parker Finn, who also did the first one. It picks up after the first film, in that it starts with Joel, the cop from part 1, trying to get rid of the Smile Demon. Alright, that sounds silly. For the people who haven't seen the original, there's a demon that exists that feeds off of people's insanity. It's passed from host to host by having a person deliver this comically huge grin and kill themselves in the recipient's presence. So now the person is quickly losing their mind while having terrifying hallucinations. This all leads to the person succumbing to the demon and killing themselves in front of a new host, which then passes the curse on and the cycle continues. So as I was saying, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the first one, at the end of Smile, Rose dies and passes the demon on to Joel, the cop who was trying to help her. The beginning of 2 starts off with a really well done tracking shot of Joel trying to give the demon to a drug dealer, but his plan goes wrong and he ends up dying. I found out later it was a trick tracking shot, in that it was 3 takes that were stitched together to look like one seamless shot. It's still cool though. The demon then passes on to another guy, who then gives it to troubled pop star Sky Riley. Sky's a recovering drug addict who is getting ready to go on her first tour after getting back from rehab. Only now that she's being haunted by the demon, she's going insane while everyone thinks that she's back on the drugs.
High as a kite, everybody! Goofballs!
When this was first being promoted, I thought Sky Riley was a real person. What I mean is that I thought she was a TikTok or Instagram star playing herself in the movie. Turns out she's Naomi Scott, an actress I'd seen before, but she looked really different here with the short blonde haircut. She was in the Power Rangers movie, which I enjoyed, and also in the Charlie's Angels reboot, which I did not enjoy. In typical horror sequel fashion, everything here is ramped up. The kills are grander, the scope is larger, and even the runtime is longer. Although bigger doesn't always mean better. I felt that by switching from Joel to Sky was a huge missed opportunity. Since Sky got the demon, she didn't know what it was. So for a chunk of the film, it's the actress trying to figure out what's going on. This is frustrating if you saw the original, since you already knew. By skipping Joel, they passed on a major unique angle. When Joel gets infected, he already knows what's going on. They could have then spent the film having him dive more into the lore of the demon and trying to find potential ways to beat it. With Sky getting it, it's all, oh, something horrible is happening, oh, it's another hallucination, and then she manages to talk to someone who explains what's going on. Apparently the director considered making the movie about Joel, but decided to pivot and make it about a new person. I think it was a big fumble. They could have given us something new instead of just the same movie again. The other thing was, with how the first one ended, I knew they were going to do it again. Only in keeping with the bigger is better mantra, I knew exactly how this movie would end before it even began. It's a shame because for a moment I thought they might be brave and go in a different direction, but nope, we're going with the safe ending because this is the easiest way to set up a sequel. Although, really? I don't want to spoil it here, so I'll drop a spoiler section at the end. Overall, it was okay. There were some scary moments, but most of them were undone by the need for jump scares. The smiles in this one also didn't feel as exaggerated or creepy as they did in the first. The song and dance numbers, while done well, went on for longer than they needed to. I get that we're supposed to believe that she's a pop star, but with the movie clocking in at over 2 hours, you can shave a minute or two off of some of these. Although I did find out that they released the original songs on Spotify, so at least they put some effort into them. I didn't know this at the time, but the one character is Jack Nicholson's son Ray. So he busted out the huge Joker smile just like his dad. Smile 2 is a sadly mediocre film when compared to the first. I hope this would be as good as I kept hearing it was, but ultimately, it was a big letdown. Scott was good, with her wide eyes staring in the camera in sheer terror. However, moments like that were destroyed when, oh no, a room full of dancing smile demons. I know it's called Smile, but I don't think I'm supposed to be laughing. The story was just a retread that they treated like a whole new thing. If you saw the original, you saw the superior version of the story. I guess I was expecting it to be better since the first film was so well done. It just didn't pack a big enough punch to warrant sitting through almost the same movie again. Not bad, but a serious drop-off in quality from the first, even though it was bigger. Anyway, mediocre. Okay, let me get into that spoiler about the ending. So at the end, Skye kills herself in front of this massive crowd. In theory, that means that everyone in the crowd is now infected. Doesn't that mean this will lead to the extinction of the human race? She's a huge pop star on her first show in quite a while. I looked up Madison Square Garden's max capacity, and it's 20,789. In a week, they're going to die and pass it on to another 20,000 people or so, and then in another week, and so on and so on. In 1 year, that's over 1.2 million people dying from this. I just can't see how they're going to do a sequel unless it's one of two things. Either the demon only chooses to infect one person, or the more interesting idea, that the demon is now living inside of 20,000 people, and it gets widespread attention due to the amount of bizarre deaths happening at the exact same time. I looked up the statistics, and roughly 50,000 people take their own lives every year. That uptake going from 50,000 to 1.2 million would definitely set off someone's radar, especially since the people doing it do it so publicly on a weekly schedule. So it's very possible that Smile 3, which is coming, could be more interesting than Part 2. We shall see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.